Welcome everyone to my review of Archie Sonic the Hedgehog issue 24. As you can tell by the cover, the issue marks the return of Evil Sonic. Heck, the cover itself points this out. This time, Evil Sonic will be bringing some friends with him. His version of the Freedom Fighters first teased in issue 11, the Anti-Freedom Fighters. I'm aware that the series tends to switch back and forth between evil and anti when it comes to the occupants of the reverse universe. As we've already seen with Vet Robotnik, not everyone is evil, and we'll meet more of them as we dive deeper into this universe. So, with regards to Leatherjacket Sonic and his crew, I will call them Evil Blank because they're villains after all, and the group as a whole as the Anti-Freedom Fighters, because they're against freedom. That's how I see it. Besides, they don't even call themselves anti or evil in this issue. They just say their regular names, which is the same as their good counterparts in the main universe. Well, makes sense. Oh, they'll get new names, but that won't be for quite a while. Anyway, since this is the third appearance of Evil Sonic, let's recap his previous two. If you want to go ahead and skip to the summary, here's the time code. Evil Sonic first appeared in issue 11 when the main Sonic took a wrong turn on the Cosmic Interstate and wound up in the reverse universe. Evil Sonic took advantage of this and challenged Sonic to a race. This backfired as Sonic tricked Vet Robotnik into capturing his evil doppelganger. Evil Sonic would return in issue 19 when an alternate version of Robotnik called Robo Robotnik recruited him to get the giant hand from a group of Sonic variants. While he failed to hold on to the gauntlet, he provided the necessary distraction for Robo Robotnik to teleport it to his location. Then I guess Evil Sonic went back to his own universe. So let's see how he gets involved with Sonic this time. We begin with Sonic kicking this pig into the mud just because. Okay, Sonic is a known prankster, mostly to Antoine, but this is just mean. I'm not going to tiptoe around this. It's actually Evil Sonic disguised as Sonic doing some bad things. And he's not the only one. Evil Sally yanks a stool from a squirrel girl who was just fishing, and she falls into the water. Evil Antoine speeds past an apple cart, then backs up to squish applesauce on the vendor. Evil Rotor is at another shop, where he swings a bat, wrecking the place. Then he tickets the owner because the shop had no room to swing a bat. Finally, we have Evil Tails knocking down a turtle and pelting him with tomatoes. The gang all meet up to confirm that the public thinks they are their good counterparts having a rotten day. So, what led Evil Sonic to come here in the first place? The comic's kind enough to flash back to Evil Sonic in his universe. He's bored out of his mind. Vet Robotnik, according to him, is a wimp, even though he did capture him that one time, and the SWAT bots they have keep everything nice and orderly. I'd figure the city they inhabit would be more of a dump. The only thing that interested him recently was his two encounters with the main Sonic. Evil Sally walks in and starts messing with Evil Sonic. Apparently she's bored as well, and wants to fight someone who can actually fight back. This gives Evil Sonic an idea. The best person to fight in this case is yourself. He explains to Evil Sally about the previous encounters with Sonic, and the thought of him being humiliated by his good counterpart makes his blood boil. He has Evil Rotor ready the vehicles, and the Anti-Freedom Fighters hit the Cosmic Interstate. Thanks to a map they stole from an interdimensional gas station, they make their way to Mobius Prime. Once they arrive, they switch their outfits to match their good counterparts, and proceed to cause the mayhem we saw at the beginning. So where are the real Freedom Fighters? Sonic, Tails, and Antoine just came back from the negative reality, with Rotor monitoring their progress. They were trying to reach where Robotnik sent King Acorn, the Zone of Silence. However, they couldn't break through, mainly because Nicole, who was supposed to guide them, cannot function in the negative reality. They're keeping this and the other rescue attempts a secret for now. They don't want to give Sally hope at the moment. That's when Sally returns from the events of her miniseries. You know, the one that involves robotic duplicates, sleeping through a good portion of it, and having Skunk Boy jam his tongue down her throat. I hope she bathed in tomato juice before she came back. Never mind that. The villagers arrive, accusing our heroes of the acts their evil counterparts did earlier. When the mob goes all out on them, our heroes bail. In the woods, they figured someone else is posing as them and hurting the villagers, and they need to prove it. Sally, who just had an experience with a doppelganger, comes up with a plan to expose the imposters. Meanwhile, the anti-freedom fighters are riding around town back in their normal getup, which is clever because from the locals' point of view, it's an evil costume switch. Our heroes, disguised as gypsies for some reason, lure the gang towards them and trip them with some wire. As the heroes remove their disguises, evil Sonic accuses them of cheating. Takes one to know one, pal. And so the two teams start fighting each other. Naturally, they gravitate towards their respective counterparts. Problem is, it's basically a mirror match, with neither opponent gaining ground. Sally has the idea of changing partners. It works as the heroes quickly turn the tide in their favor, and the anti-freedom fighters are defeated. While tying them up, the villagers, who saw the whole thing, apologize to our heroes. As for their evil selves, they plan to send them back to their own universe. Evil Sonic, despite losing again, claims he got what he really wanted. A good fight to stave off his boredom. The main and only issue of this story is the cliche evil doppelganger frames the hero, and the hero has to clear their name plot. I've seen this in plenty of other media. Most notably, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode, A Bad Reflection on You, in which Rita Repulsa sends a monster and a group of putties to impersonate the Power Rangers. The doppelgangers frame the heroes by pulling a prank on the school principal, who then gives the genuine articles detention. This allows the doppelgangers, while in Power Ranger form, to wreak havoc on the city. The real Power Rangers eventually arrive and stop them, and clear their superhero name. They still had to finish detention though. I just noticed, both the evil Power Ranger civilian forms and most of the anti-freedom fighters in the second half of the story are wearing sunglasses. Because they're bad, I guess? It's probably a coincidence, but given A Bad Reflection on You originally aired on November 27, 1993, and issue 24 was published in May of 1995, I wouldn't be surprised if someone working on the comic was inspired by the Power Rangers episode in some form. This time, I suspect it's the artist. Art Mahoney, who drew the second half of the issue, put the sunglasses on most of the anti-freedom fighters, while Dave Manick, who drew the first half, only had sunglasses on Evil Sonic. Evil Rotor did have sunglasses, but I guess he lost them when the freedom fighters tripped their vehicles. Evil Antoine's the only one who never wears sunglasses, and that's because he has an eye patch, another sign of villainy, most of the time. While it seems this version of Antoine lost an eye, I'm going to reveal a little secret. At this point in time, Evil Antoine has both his eyes. The patch is just for show. Keep this in mind for the future. He had his eyes closed in this issue because, out of universe, they didn't imagine him still having two eyes. In universe, he probably had something in his eye that day, and forgot to apply Visine or something. I hinted at this back in my issue 11 review. The reason the plot exists is because Evil Sonic was bored. Given the state of his universe, I kinda don't blame him for hopping to another one for some excitement. The only reason the anti-freedom fighters get away with their antics at first is because our heroes were busy with other things. Coincidence? Oh yeah. But these things can happen, so I'll let it slide. I'll also let it slide that there's an interdimensional gas station. I mean, the Cosmic Interstate has a place called the Neutral Zone, remember? Plus, even though they haven't revealed themselves yet, there are the Zone Cops. Now, the anti-freedom fighters disguising themselves as our heroes, I can only buy Evil Sonic doing this. He and his gang have never seen where the other freedom fighters normally wear, so disguising themselves using accurate versions of their counterparts' iconic outfits? That's a stretch. Back to what the real freedom fighters were doing. The issue begins setting up a plot that will be explored in the future, the search for King Acorn. Sonic in Your Face reminded readers that Sally once had a father, and he disappeared during Robotnik's coup. The end with the alternate future showed that he was eventually rescued. Now we're seeing the attempt in the main present. Somehow, the team discovered the king was banished to a place called the Zone of Silence by Robotnik. Clearly, this was inspired by the cartoon, in which Robotnik banished the king to another dimension during the takeover. Only it's called the Void. Why not called the Void in the comic? Oh, it gets better. Turns out, there is a Void in the comic, and it's a separate dimension. I'll discuss this more another time. Sally was off having her adventure in her miniseries, which is odd considering the backup story leading into it was in issue 20. So it was assumed that it took place between issues 20 and 21, but then the caption says it happened sometime before this issue. To make it easier on myself, I'll imagine the events of issue 20's backup story take place sometime after the events of issue 23, then the Sally miniseries, then issue 24. I don't care what the wikis say, they can be edited by anyone. Sally using her knowledge from the miniseries to help save the day is a nice bit of continuity. Given that Mike Kay and Ken Penders wrote both stories, I'm not surprised. I'm also not surprised that Bunny is absent again. She does exist in the reverse universe, based on the desk carvings, and we'll see her in a future issue, but the reverse universe does not have the roboticizer, so if that Bunny joined the fun, she would have to wear metal plating to disguise herself as Bunny Prime. Plus, she would be at a major disadvantage if the two were to meet. At this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7. There are flaws to be sure. The townsfolk getting understandably angry at our heroes. They never let them get a chance to explain themselves. But hey, we have to have our stereotypical mob. The big flaw is the comic's attempt at a surprise reveal. You're supposed to wonder, why is Sonic and his friends acting all mean in the beginning? That fails because when you have a cover announcing the return of Evil Sonic, and you see this as your first page, even the younger audience can put 2 and 2 together. At the same time, I have a little soft spot for mirror matches in media, and I do like the solution to the crisis. Sending the evil doppelgangers back to their universe instead of imprisoning them may seem silly, but given that the heroes are already dealing with Robotnik, they don't want that headache right now. They'll get it 165 issues later. Perhaps even sooner, as 2 members of the Anti-Freedom Fighters will impersonate their good counterparts again, and this time be more successful at it. There will be repercussions from that, but I'll save that for another time. With the Doppelganger issue resolved for now, the next issue is the series' first comic milestone, which is an adaptation of Sonic's CD. I'll have more to say in that review. And with that, I'll see you later. And swing your partner to and fro, beat them up and do-si-do and promenade.